Welcome back to our channel. Today, we are talking about a powerful idea that can change our entire life. The idea is simple. Do what 99% of people are not doing. In life, success is not a mystery. Success leaves clues. Success follows patterns, but only a small group of people actually follow those patterns. The truth is, most people want results, but very few want to do the work. Most people want success, but very few want to build discipline. Most people want freedom, but very few want responsibility. Most people want greatness, but very few want the habits that create greatness. That is the difference between the 99% and the 1%. The 99% avoid discomfort, avoid challenges, avoid discipline, avoid change, avoid effort, avoid responsibility. But the 1% embrace discomfort, embrace challenges, embrace discipline, embrace growth, embrace effort, embrace responsibility. Doing what 99% are not doing is not about talent. It is about mindset. It means waking up when others are sleeping. It means learning when others are scrolling. It means working when others are complaining. It means training when others are doubting. This is how people become smarter, stronger, wiser, richer, happier. Not because life is easy for them, but because they choose the harder path. So in this video, we will learn how to break away from the 99% mindset and join the 1% mindset. We will talk about how 99% think, how 1% think, what 1% do daily, how to create habits that make us unstoppable, how to be ahead in our personal journey. This is not about being better than others. This is about being better than our old self. If we want a different life, we must do different things. Because if we do what everyone is doing, we will get what everyone is getting. So let's begin the journey of do what 99% are not doing. Part 1. 99% choose comfort. 1% choose discomfort. Comfort feels good. Comfort feels safe. Comfort feels easy. But comfort does not build greatness. Comfort is a trap that looks soft in the beginning, but becomes painful in the end. Most people choose comfort because comfort is easy. They avoid anything that feels difficult, uncertain, uncomfortable, challenging. This is how comfort becomes a cage. The 99% choose comfort, like sleeping late, scrolling aimlessly, avoiding exercise, avoiding learning, procrastinating, looking for shortcuts, doing only what feels good. These behaviors feel harmless today, but they destroy tomorrow. Comfort gives pleasure immediately, but pain later. Discomfort gives pain immediately, but pleasure later. That is the law. Why the 99% avoid discomfort? Most people avoid discomfort because discomfort requires effort. Discomfort requires discipline. Discomfort requires patience. Discomfort requires courage. The brain wants to save energy, so it pushes us toward the easiest choice. That's why the 99% say, I'll do it tomorrow. I'm not in the mood. I'm tired. It's too hard. What's the point? And with these small excuses, they waste months. They waste years. They waste life. Why? The 1% choose discomfort. The 1% understand a simple truth. Anything valuable is outside the comfort zone. If we want success, health, skills, confidence, freedom, we must be willing to feel uncomfortable. The 1% choose discomfort, like waking up early, exercising daily, eating clean food, studying new skills, reading books, facing difficult tasks, saying no to distractions, working when others relax. This is not easy, but this is powerful. Discomfort today creates strength tomorrow. Comfort versus discomfort. The results. Comfort and discomfort lead to opposite worlds. Comfort now, pain later. Weak body, weak mind. Low confidence, no discipline, no growth. Regret at the end. Discomfort now, power later. Strong body, strong mind. High confidence, powerful discipline, massive growth, pride at the end. Most people want results without the pain. But that is not how life works. Life gives rewards to those who earn them. The secret habit of the 1%. The 1% train their mind to say, I don't feel like it, but I will do it anyway. This is the difference. The 99% wait for motivation. The 1% rely on discipline. Motivation is emotion. Discipline is identity. Motivation comes and goes. Discipline stays forever. An example to understand the gap. Two people wake up in the morning. Person A, 99% says, I am tired. I need more sleep. Person B, 1% says, I am tired, but I will get up. Same feeling, different choice. After one day, no big difference. After 1 month, noticeable difference. After 1 year, huge difference. After 5 years, different life. Life changes one small choice at a time. To join the top 1%, we must choose discomfort intentionally. Because the gym is uncomfortable, but being weak is more uncomfortable. Waking early is uncomfortable, but wasting years is more uncomfortable. Learning new skills is uncomfortable, but being stuck in life is more uncomfortable. Choosing discomfort is not punishment. It is self-respect. This is the first step in do what 99% are not doing. Part 2. 99% consume, 1% create. We live in a world full of content. Every second people are consuming videos, posts, reels, memes, news, opinions. Entertainment consumption is easy. Consumption feels good. Consumption gives pleasure immediately. But here's the truth. Consumers rarely change the world. Creators do. 1. Why 99% consume? Most people consume because it is effortless. It gives quick entertainment. It requires zero responsibility. It fills time. It feels relaxing. Scrolling is easy. Watching is easy. Listening is easy. That is why the 99% spend hours consuming. They consume more than they think, learn, create, build. And because of this, they stay in the same place. 2. Why consumption alone is dangerous. Consumption gives the illusion of progress. We watch videos about success and feel like we are improving. But watching is not improving. We read about discipline and feel motivated. But motivation without action dies quickly. Consumption without creation creates. Confusion, comparison, jealousy, overthinking, low self-esteem. The mind becomes full, but the life does not change. 3. Why 1% create? The 1% understand a secret. Value is created, not consumed. Creators give value to the world. Creators build products, companies, books, skills, videos, solutions, art ideas. Creators do not wait for permission. Creators do not wait for perfect conditions. Creators start messy, improve slowly, and build consistently. 4. Consumers take, creators give. Consumers take value. Creators give value. Consumers ask, what can I get? Creators ask, what can I build? What can I learn? What can I offer? Because of this mindset, creators attract opportunities. The world rewards those who produce value. 5 examples of consumer versus creator mindset. Consumer mindset watches content on fitness, learns theory, learns exercises, feels motivated, does nothing. Creator mindset learns exercises, practices daily, improves form, shares progress, inspires others. Another example. Consumer watches business videos, reads success stories, dreams about money, does nothing. Creator tries a small business, learns from mistakes, learns sales, learns marketing, grows slowly. One more example. Consumer reads self-improvement quotes, saves them, feels good, never applies. Creator applies the quote, changes behavior, changes habits, changes life. That is the difference. 6. 99% rely on entertainment. 1% rely on education. Entertainment is consumption. Education is creation. The 99% want to be entertained. They want to escape reality. The 1% want to learn. They want to build a future. The 99% spend money on games, gadgets, clothes, parties, fashion. The 1% spend money on books, courses, skills, tools, mentors. Education multiplies. Entertainment disappears. 7. Becoming a creator does not mean being famous. Creator does not mean influencer, celebrity, YouTuber. Creator means you create value. You create skills. You create solutions. You create progress. If you build yourself, you are a creator. If you build your body, you are a creator. If you build your mind, you are a creator. If you build a business, you are a creator. Creation is about contribution, not fame. Consumers get dopamine. Creators get confidence. Consumption gives pleasure, enjoyment, escape, but it fades quickly. Creation gives confidence, skill, identity, growth, purpose. When we create, we see progress. Progress builds self-respect. Self-respect builds a strong identity. 9. The mind changes when we become creators. When we start creating, our mind becomes sharper. We start thinking about strategy, quality, improvement, systems, discipline, value, impact. Creators live with intention. Consumers live on autopilot. To join the 1%, we must consume less and create more. We don't need to stop consuming, we need to balance it. A simple rule. For every 1 hour we consume, create for 1 hour. Or even start with, for every 1 hour we consume, create for 10 minutes. Small creation beats zero creation because creation builds identity. Identity builds confidence. Confidence builds life. This is the next step in Do What 99% Are Not Doing, Part 3. 99% talk, 1% act. Talking is easy. Acting is difficult. Thinking is easy. Doing is difficult. Most people stay stuck in life not because they lack dreams, but because they lack action. The world is full of people who say, "One day I will. Soon I will. Tomorrow I will. After some time I will." But that one day never comes. This is why most dreams die, not in the real world, but in people's minds. Why the 99% only talk. The 99% love to talk, because talking feels good, feels safe, feels successful, feels smart, feels productive. Talking gives a sense of progress, even when there is no progress. Many people talk about plans, goals, projects, ideas, changes, but nothing actually happens. Talking is cheap. Action is expensive. Talking costs nothing. Action costs energy. That is why the 99% stay in talking mode. 2. Talking replaces action in many minds. Some people believe that talking about their goals is the same as working on their goals. For example, many say, "I am going to start a business." But months pass, years pass, nothing starts. Others say, "I will go to the gym. I will learn English. I will invest money. I will change my life." But they only talk. Talking feels like movement, but it is not real movement. 3. Why the 1% focus on action. The 1% understand a truth. Results come from action, not conversation. The 1% are not louder than others. They are busier than others. They do not spend time impressing people. They spend time improving themselves. They don't say, "I will do it someday." They say, "I will start today," even if they are scared, even if they are not ready, even if they don't know everything. They take the first step. Action creates momentum. Momentum creates results. 4. Fear of failure keeps the 99% in talking mode. Many talk because action risks failure. When we act, we might fail, embarrass ourselves, make mistakes, look foolish, be judged. Talking avoids these things. But strong people understand. Mistakes build skill. Failure builds wisdom. Action builds confidence. The 99% want safe comfort. The 1% want real growth. 5. Action is the difference between dreamers and achievers. Both groups have dreams. Only one group acts. Dreamers imagine success. Achievers create success. Talking keeps dreams in fantasy. Action brings dreams to reality. 6. Small actions beat big speeches. Many people wait for a perfect moment. Perfect motivation, perfect plan, perfect tools, perfect skills. But perfection is an excuse. The 1% act with imperfect plans, tools, knowledge, conditions. They begin where they are with what they have. Small action greater than perfect theory. 7. Action creates identity. When we act, something powerful happens. The brain starts to believe. I am the kind of person who does things. This builds confidence, discipline, momentum, self-respect. Talking does not create identity. Action does. 8. Real examples of talking versus acting. Talking mindset. Watches fitness videos. Talks about fitness. Buys gym clothes. Plans diet. Does nothing. Acting mindset wears old clothes, walks for 20 minutes, eats one healthy meal, improves slowly. Another example. Talking mindset watches tutorials, buys camera, talks about ideas, uploads nothing. Acting mindset takes phone, records a simple video, uploads it, learns by doing, improves every week. One more. Talking mindset reads about starting a business, thinks about starting a business, dreams about success, does nothing. Acting mindset sells one small product, creates one small service, learns by doing, grows slowly. Action produces results. Talking produces nothing. 9. The world rewards doers, not talkers. Opportunities come to those who act. Society respects results, not promises. Success belongs to those who put in energy, time, and effort. Talking is not a skill. Doing is part 4. 99% avoid learning. 1% are obsessed with learning. Learning is one of the strongest tools in life. But here is the strange truth. Most people stop learning after school. In school, learning is forced. In life, learning must be chosen. This is where the separation happens. The 99% think learning is boring, hard, time-consuming, only for students, only for exams. But the 1% know learning is growth, power, freedom, opportunity, wealth. Success is not built on luck. Success is built on learning. 1. Why the 99% avoid learning? Most people avoid learning because learning requires time, effort, patience, humility, consistency. It is easier to scroll. It is easier to watch entertainment. It is easier to relax. Learning asks for discomfort. Comfort asks for nothing. Many people say, "I don't have time to learn." But the truth is, they don't lack time. They lack priorities. 2. School teaches subjects. Life teaches skills. School teaches math, history, geography, science. But life requires communication, money management, emotional control, problem solving, confidence, discipline, adaptability, thinking, business skills, social skills, health knowledge. The 99% stop learning after class ends. The 1% start learning after class ends. 3. Why the 1% are obsessed with learning. The 1% understand one rule. If I become better, my life becomes better. They learn because they know learning reduces mistakes, increases opportunities, builds skills, builds confidence, builds wealth, builds identity. The 1% never say, "I know enough." They say, "I want to know more." They learn from books, courses, experience, mentors, videos, failures, observing others. Everything is a lesson. 4. The 99% learn for certificates. The 1% learn for skills. Most people learn because they want a degree. They want a certificate. They want marks. But after getting the certificate, they stop. The 1% learn because they want skill. They want understanding. They want mastery. They want growth. Certificates help in the beginning. Skills help for a lifetime. 5. The learning of the 1% is practical. The 1% ask, "What skill can help me in real life?" They learn how to communicate, how to sell, how to negotiate, how to think clearly, how to invest, how to build habits, how to manage money, how to manage time, how to understand people. These skills change life. 6. The 99% think learning is expensive. Many people say courses are expensive, books are expensive, but the same people spend more money on food delivery, entertainment, outings, fashion, gadgets. Strong people invest in education because education gives returns. A book can change a mind. A course can change a skill. A skill can change a career. A career can change a life. Learning is not a cost. Learning is an investment. 7. The 1% learn daily, not someday. The 99% say, "I will start learning someday." Someday never comes. The 1% learn daily. Even 20 minutes a day is powerful. Small daily learning creates huge results. 20 minutes a day equals 10 hours per month. 10 hours per month equals 120 hours per year. 1 year later, we will not recognize ourselves. 8. Failure is a teacher for the 1%. The 99% run away from failure. The 1% learn from failure. The 99% say, "I failed, so I stop. The 1% say, I failed, so I learn. Failure gives lessons no book can give. Failure is not the end. Failure is feedback. 9. Learning makes life easier. Avoiding learning makes life harder. When we refuse to learn, money becomes confusing. Work becomes stressful. Relationships become messy. Communication becomes weak. Life becomes complicated. Learning solves problems before they appear. Knowledge gives power. Part 5. 99% work for money. 1% make money work for them. Money is a sensitive topic. People avoid talking about it openly. But money has a huge impact on our life, our choices, our opportunities, and our future. Here's the truth. Most people work for money. Very few make money work for them. This is one of the biggest differences between the 99% and the 1%. 1. Why the 99% work for money. Most people are taught from childhood. Study hard, get a job, earn a salary, pay bills, retire, die. This is the standard script. This system creates a comfortable pattern, but not a wealthy pattern. The 99% work for money because they need monthly income. They need to pay bills. They fear losing job. They depend on salary. They were never taught about money. School teaches us how to work. School never teaches us how money works. And that is why most people stay stuck. 2. Salary is not the problem. Dependence is. Working a job is not bad. Jobs are important. Jobs pay the bills. The real problem is dependence. If one source of money stops, life collapses. That is financial weakness. The 1% understand this. The 99% ignore it. 3. Why the 1% make money work for them. The 1% study money like a skill. They understand how money flows, how money grows, how money behaves, how money multiplies. They know that money is a tool that can buy time, buy freedom, buy opportunities. Money is not only for survival. Money is for independence. 4. The 99% exchange time for money. Most people trade time, money, hours, salary. But time is limited, so earning is limited. When time stops, income stops. If we lose job, income stops. If we get sick, income stops. This is a dangerous model. 5. The 1% build assets. Assets are things that make money even when we sleep. Examples of assets: investments, businesses, intellectual property, content, skills, real estate, systems. When assets grow, freedom grows. Assets make money work for us. 6. The 99% avoid money education. Many people say money is complicated, money is risky, I don't understand investing. But the same people understand. Netflix shows, celebrity gossip, sports, phone features, fashion brands. Lack of knowledge is not the problem. Lack of priority is the 1% learn about saving, investing, compounding, taxes, risk, inflation, assets, debt, cash flow. This knowledge creates wealth. 7. The 1% understand compounding. Compounding means money earning more money. Even small amounts can multiply over time. Most people ignore compounding because it starts slow. It requires patience. It requires consistency. But compounding rewards those who start early. The 99% want fast results. The 1% want long-term results. 8. The 99% focus on income. The 1% focus on wealth. Income equals money we earn. Wealth equals money we keep, plus money that grows. Many people make good income but remain broke because they spend everything. The 1% understand saving is discipline, investing is growth, spending is a choice. The goal is not just to earn more, but to keep more and multiply more. 9. The 99% fear risk. The 1% fear regret. Most people say, "What if I lose money?" The 1% say, "What if I lose time?" Money can come back. Time never comes back. That is the difference. The 99% avoid risk. The 1% manage risk. 10. The 1% create multiple income streams. One income is survival. Multiple incomes are security. The 1% build active income, passive income, investment income. Some examples of income streams: job, business, freelancing, renting property, stock investments, digital products, content platforms. Slowly, income becomes flexible, and flexible income creates freedom. Part 6. 99% escape reality. 1% improve reality. Modern life gives many ways to escape reality. We can escape through entertainment, social media, games, movies, parties, food, shopping, fantasy, gossip. Escaping reality feels easy. It feels comfortable. It feels enjoyable. But escaping reality does not improve life. Only facing reality does. This is why most people stay stuck. They do not hate their life. They simply avoid it. 1. Why the 99% escape reality. Most people escape reality because reality is hard, uncomfortable, stressful, demanding, confusing. Facing reality means facing our weaknesses, our mistakes, our responsibilities, our finances, our habits, our choices. This is painful for the ego. So the 99% choose escape over effort. Escape gives quick pleasure. 0 responsibility, 0 pain. But after escape comes regret. 2. Escaping becomes a habit. When people escape once, they feel relief. So they escape again and again and again. Soon escape becomes routine. Examples: when stressed, open social media. When bored, watch series. When lonely, scroll endlessly. When confused, sleep, or procrastinate. These behaviors look harmless, but they steal life because every minute we escape is a minute we do not improve. 3. The 99% use escape as medicine, but escape does not cure the problem. Escape delays the problem, and delayed problems become bigger problems. Escaping reality makes life harder, messier, heavier. Then people escape even more. This becomes a trap. 4. Why the 1% improve reality. The 1% understand a truth. Avoiding reality does not change reality. Improving reality changes reality. So instead of escaping, they confront. They say, I don't like this part of my life, so I will fix it. Improving reality gives control, confidence, power, peace, progress. 5. The 1% face problems with clarity. When something is wrong, the 1% do not complain, escape, run away, blame others. They ask, what can I do about it? This mindset is rare. This mindset is powerful. 6. Improving reality starts small. Most people think improving life means big changes, but the 1% starts small. Sleep earlier, wake earlier, read for 10 minutes, walk for 20 minutes, save small money, learn one skill, remove one bad habit. Tiny improvements create massive change over time. 7. The 99% deny reality. The 1% measure reality. The 99% avoid tracking money, habits, health, spending, time. Because tracking reveals truth. Truth is uncomfortable. The 1% measure everything because measurement equals awareness. Awareness equals control. We cannot fix what we cannot see. 8. The 99% escape through fantasy. Many people live in fantasy worlds. One day I will be rich. One day I will be successful. One day everything will change. But fantasy without action is escape. The 1% dream too, but they build plans under dreams. 9. The 99% avoid responsibility. Avoiding responsibility feels easier than accepting it, but responsibility creates power. The 1% take responsibility for their health, their money, their habits, their time, their emotions, their mistakes. They say, "This is my life. I will shape it." This mindset separates them from the majority. 10. Key message of Part 6. To join the 1%, we must stop escaping and start improving. Because the truth is simple. What we avoid today will control our future. What we improve today will build our future. If we do what 99% are not doing, we must face reality, measure reality, improve reality, take responsibility, act small but consistent, fix what is broken, build what is missing. Because in the end, reality does not get better by escaping. Reality gets better by effort. This is the next step in do what 99% are not doing. Part 7. 99% waste time. 1% use time like a weapon. Time is the most valuable currency in life. We can lose money and earn it again. We can lose opportunities and find new ones. But once we lose time, it never returns. This is the greatest difference between the 99% and the 1%. Most people treat time like it is unlimited. Successful people treat time like it is gold. 1. Why the 99% waste time. The 99% waste time because time feels free. When something is free, people don't respect it. The 99% waste hours on scrolling, gossip, overthinking, video games, partying, watching others live, sleeping excessively, chasing distractions. They say I have time. Tomorrow I will start. Later I will do it. There is no hurry. But later becomes never, and never becomes regret. 2. Time is silently disappearing. Time doesn't disappear loudly, it disappears quietly. We don't notice hours passing. We don't notice days passing. We don't notice years passing until one day we wake up and say, "What happened to my life?" The 99% only realize the value of time after losing it. 3. Why the 1% treat time like a weapon. The 1% understand that time is limited, precious, powerful, non-refundable. They know that how we use time decides how we live life. The 1% plan their time the way a warrior plans their weapons, carefully, strategically, and with purpose. 4. The 99% spend time. The 1% invest time. Spending time means time disappears. Nothing changes. Investing time means time returns with benefits. When we invest time in learning, training, building skills, reading, exercising, creating, working, practicing, we get returns in money, health, knowledge, success, confidence, freedom. This is the formula of the 1%. 5. The enemy of time is distraction. Distraction destroys time like fire destroys wood. Today's distractions are stronger than ever. Notifications, social media, messages, reels, ads, games, news, content overload. The 99% surrender to distraction. The 1% build systems against distraction. 6. The 1% manage time differently. The 1% use time intentionally. They wake up early, plan the day, set priorities, say no often, protect focus, avoid useless noise, respect deadlines, work with deep focus. They don't wait for motivation, they use discipline. 7. Time management is not about doing more. It is about doing what matters. The 99% try to do everything. The 1% do only what matters. They ask, what action gives the highest return? What task brings me closer to my goals? What should I eliminate? What should I automate? What should I delegate? Busy does not mean productive. Productive means effective. 8. The 99% underestimate small time blocks. Most people say, I only have 10 minutes. I only have 20 minutes. So they waste it. But 10 minutes of reading daily equals 60 hours per year. 20 minutes of exercise daily equals massive health change. 30 minutes of skill practice daily equals new career in a year. Small time blocks build big futures. The 1% know this. The 99% ignore it. 9. The 1% use time boundaries. The 1% set clear boundaries for time. No social media during work, no scrolling in morning, no wasting weekends, no staying up without purpose. They make rules for themselves because they respect time. Discipline protects time. Time protects dreams. 10. Key message of Part 7. To join the 1%, we must stop treating time like it is endless. We must reduce distractions, protect focus, use small time blocks, work with intention, invest time into skills, say no to nonsense. Track how we use hours, respect mornings and nights, because time is not money. Time is more valuable than money. Money lost can return. Time lost never return. If we do what 99% are not doing, we must use time like a weapon. Because in the end, how we use our time is how we build our life. This is the next step in do what 99% are not doing. Before we end this video, remember one important truth. If we do what everyone is doing, we will get what everyone is getting. Most people choose the easy path, the comfortable path, the familiar path. But comfort never builds greatness. The top 1% are not special. They are simply willing to do what 99% are not willing to do. They learn when others stop learning. They work when others are sleeping. They practice when others are complaining. They take responsibility when others make excuses. And they use time wisely while others waste it. If we want to change our future, we must change our habits today. We don't need to be perfect. We don't need to be gifted. We just need to be consistent and willing to go where others won't go. So work quietly, build daily, stay disciplined, and stay focused. Because one day, the same people who doubted us will ask us how we did it. If this video inspired you, like the video, share it with someone who needs motivation, and subscribe for more motivational graded reader lessons. And remember, do what 99% are not doing, and one day you will live how 99% cannot live.